We are live. We are live. We are live. Yes, yes, yes. Let's get it going today. Hey, what's good, good people? This is 𝗦𝗧𝗥𝗧 Lynch, Mr. What, founder of I Am the Possible and your self-worth specialist. I want to welcome you guys once again into the I Am the Possible universe, specifically the I Am the Possible broadcast, where our mission, our intention is to revive your hope for what's possible. We do that in two very distinct ways. The first way, guys, as always, we want to expose those ideas that will prevent what's possible in your life. The second way, guys, as always, we want to begin to explore those ideas that will produce what's possible in your life. And today, guys, we are going to begin to expose once again one of those things that may be preventing what's possible in your life. This is part 3 of a 4-part series on framework. But before we get into any of that, before we jump into any of that, man, I want to give some special shout outs and salutes. If you are joining me live or on the replay, as I always say, your presence is the greatest present that you could ever give me. So thank you so much for rocking with me this morning. Guys, if you jump on live this morning, I want you to drop me hashtag unstuck. I want you to claim it this morning. Hashtag unstuck. Because today's broadcast, it is created and it is purposed to be communicated to a very specific group, a group of individuals like me that have found themselves or currently find themselves. You may be finding yourself stuck in what I call the inundation of information. So guys, drop me a hashtag unstuck if I'm speaking to you this morning. Otherwise, just say what's up, good morning, how you doing, happy Saturday, whatever, right? Let me know where you're tuning in from. Just give me some shout outs and some love so that I can know that you're in the building, because I want to shout you out. I want to communicate. I want to have a dialogue, not just a monologue. I don't want to just let this thing be a one-way communication. I want to chop it up with you guys. So let me know that you are in the building this morning, and I want to show you some love. I see a few people jumping on already this morning. Lawana, what's going on? My sister, good morning. Happy birthday, boy. Yes. Yes. Still celebrating. And Lawana says unstuck. Well, let's get to it. Let's do it. That is what we are here for, to get some folks unstuck. Margaret is in the building. Sister Washington, what's going on? Good morning, and shout out from T-Town, from the T. That's right. From the C to the T. Some of you guys don't know that I was born in Chicago, Illinois, Cook County, baby. But soon after that, around 7 years of age, I was moved to Toledo, Ohio. So I got some Toledo folks jumping on this morning. What's going on, my T-Town folks? Thank you guys for rocking with me this morning, guys. Let's jump into this thing. Guys, have you ever, or maybe that's you right now, right? Because God put it on my heart. To talk about the something that I think many people, experience from time to time, or you may be experiencing it right now. It's called this information overload. I call it the inundation of information. In other words, it's where you find yourself in the early stages of launching out. You're launching out on something. You're beginning a new ministry. You're beginning a new business. Heck, you're beginning a new relationship. I don't care what it is, but you are starting something fresh. You're beginning something new. And in those early stages, let me know if you can relate. Drop me a hashtag, I can relate. In those early stages, you want to put your best foot forward, right? You want to do the very best you can do. You want that ministry, that business, that relationship to be of excellence. You want whatever you're putting your hand to, you want it to look good, be good. You want it to honor God. You want it to, represent you well. And so you're doing a gang of research. You're reading all the books. You're attending all the seminars. You are taking all the webinars. You're going to the virtual event of the year, right? You're listening to the audio books you're watching the YouTube tutorials. I don't know, right? You're doing everything that you know to do, and you are gathering a gang of information because you want to launch out. You want to do this thing, and you want to do this thing the right way. So your intentions, let me let you know, first off, your intentions are dope. Your intentions are right. Your intentions are glorious to God, right? You are in the right place. You're doing the right thing, but you're gathering a gang of information. And before you know it, you're stuck. You were set to launch, but now you're stuck. Why? Not because you don't have enough information, not because you don't know what to do. Now you're stuck because you know too much. Guys, let me share with you from a personal experience before I jump into some of the content. I have found myself in this place many times, and so that's why I can speak to it without notes, without prompts, right? I can speak to it very well, right? Because I have done this so much in my own personal life. I gather a gang of information, and I want to launch out, and then I get inundated. I get stuck. And today we're going to be breaking down what that is, how it happens. And I'm going to be sharing with you 3 personal strategies that I've used in my life to get unstuck, because getting stuck is not a one-time thing. You're going to keep getting stuck. You're going to keep getting stuck with the different things that you're trying to launch. And you're going to keep getting stuck on various levels. But these are universal principles. These principles can work on any level in the game, and they can work with any context, right? All you have to do is just be stuck. And the 3 things that I'm going to share with you, these actual strategies that I've implemented in my own life over the years, they're going to help you to get unstuck, okay? But let me just give you a very personal example just so that you can relate to it. You guys know that I just recently, late December of last year, I started my I'm the Possible podcast. I've been doing these Facebook Lives for, quite some time, and I've been doing the YouTube stuff, right, for quite some time. And, if you don't know, I always got something to say. I mean, I have volumes, I have hard drives, it is ridiculous the amount of content that I have. And so over the years of gathering content, gathering ideas, things to share, I was really getting frustrated. Like, man, how am I going to share all this information with the world? How am I going to begin to, leave a mark in this world and just get this information out for those who may benefit from it? And so for a long time, people have been telling me, man, you should start a podcast. Man, you should start a podcast. I've had people come up to me and say, when is your podcast launching? And we ain't even had no conversation. So for me, after many months of considering and praying and all of this confirmation, right? I was like, yo, man, maybe that's the best platform for me. Maybe that's the best way for me to just launch out and get things going so I can start to put information out there. Well, lo and behold, I began to do my research on podcasting, right? What information do you put into your podcast? What equipment do you use for your podcast? What's the best software? What's the best lighting? What's the best webcam? What's the best microphone? Right. And I'm watching all these tutorials and I'm doing all this research, and I get stuck. My podcast, in a sense, should have started probably 2 months earlier than when it did. But I was stuck in this inundation of information. And I don't know about you. I don't know if you guys can relate, but I even began to spend money. Many times we spend money, we invest, we buy products, and we're going to be getting into that in just a moment as well. We start buying products, investing money, investing time, only to discover later on, man, that wasn't the right choice. Man, I don't really need that. Or man, this isn't what I thought it was, right? And now you've invested money or signed contracts for stuff. And now, anyway, it just gets real messy. So if you're in that frustration, that's why I call today's broadcast, check this out, guys. That's why I called it the floodgates of frustration of frameworks, right? Because this is part 3 of part 4. Part 3 of a 4-part series on framework. And I'm going to show you in just a moment how all of this ties back into framework, right? So anyway, I just wanted to share that personal story with you just to let you know that I feel your pain and I get it and I understand it. So if I could drop you a hashtag, I would drop you a hashtag. I feel you, right? I feel your pain. I'm there with you. So with no further ado, guys, let's jump into some of this content, man. Let me share Let me share over here. Boom. Let me share my screen that way. And I want to just jump into some of this, man, because we're going to continue this series. First of all, let me get back here so I can see what's going on. First of all, guys, this inundation of information, what is it, right? This little picture, maybe that's how you look right now, right? It is the overwhelming experience of having too much information to process and implement at once. That's the key thing. It's too much to implement. It's too much to process at once. It didn't say that it's too much to implement. It didn't say that it was too much to process overall. Just at once. That's key. Take note of that, right? Having too many options to choose from. Have you found yourself there? If you have found yourself there, guys, let me know that you have found yourself there. Just drop me a hashtag, been there. You got too many options. You got too many choices. And now you don't know what to do, right? Now you're like, man, my first issue was I didn't know what to do. Now I've got too many choices, too many options. This next one, guys, information overload, okay? Because I call it the inundation of information. That was like a phrase that I gave it. But when you look it up, right, Webster's Dictionary online, Google it, right? This is what it really breaks down to. It's called information overload. That's maybe what the world terms it in a more general sense. Information overload, it occurs when a person is exposed to more information than the brain can process at once. Guys, that's important to understand. Our brains, and let me go back over here. Our brains, our minds can only process so much at once. The way that I, like to illustrate this is right now I'm live. I'm talking with you. I'm teaching. I'm sharing through a computer. Now, I don't know what the gigs are that my computer holds and the bandwidth that my computer holds, but think of your brain like a computer. Your brain only has so much bandwidth at one given time, not overall, not overall. This is all about you launching out for that business, that ministry, that new thing, and you getting stuck because you're trying to process too many new, exciting ideas, right? Those of us who go to webinars, seminars, conferences, you ever been like front row at that conference or even that virtual conference and you got your notepad out and you are taking notes, man. You filling up pages of notes. Oh my God, this is so exciting. This is so awesome. Oh my God, I'm going to go back home and I'm going to implement. I'm going to do it. I'm going to dominate my industry. I'm going to, oh my God, I'm going to take over the world. Ooh, and you get home and you ain't doing nothing. You ain't doing nothing when you get home. I've done it. Yep, let me raise my hand first. Notebooks full of notes. Oh my God, I was on such a high. Oh my God, I am about to take over this world, baby. I am the possible is about to do it. And then you get home and it's like, where do I start? And then you don't start at all. You get stuck again, right? And so, guys, it's too much to process at once. And my strategies today are going to help you to begin to take a step back and learn how to process these things strategically. All right, so let's go back to these slides and let me share with you guys this next thing here. Okay, guys, I want to remind you what framework is. Before we get any further, I want to again remind us of what framework really is, right? And how this ties into this overall series of framework. Framework is by definition an explanation and representation, right? I know that's how we say it, representation, but I want to put emphasis on representation. Like a presentation, they represent. It's a do-over of a something that you already have, right? Check it out. That's important to understand because now it's a representation of a person's thought process on how something works in the real world. This is why it is so important for us to understand that when it comes to framework, and remember, framework is what we live out of, what we operate out of. It's our reality, right? It's the ideas and the processes and the thoughts that we live out of and operate out of, right? Or don't operate out of because of our framework, right? It is our internal world. right? We live on one earth, but we have infinite worlds. My world is not your world. Your world is not my world. That's why we can look at this, sparklets. That's why, if I drunk it halfway down, I could ask the, classic question, is it half empty or half full? And if you get two different answers, it means that you have two different frameworks. Okay, so I won't stay on that point very long because the last couple of weeks we've been talking about framework, but I want to tie this in to this idea of information overload, inundation of information. When we are taking all the notes at the conference, when we are attending the webinars and the seminars and and we're like, what do I do? When you get like that, you have an inundation of other people's framework. This is what I call the other side of the coin, guys. Last week, we talked about when you're down in the mud, when you reach out to someone else and you get to pierce over into their framework and you get to look through their lenses and you get a new perspective that works for you. That was one side of the coin. This week, I'm talking about the other side of the coin. The other side of the coin is that we engage in and we acquire too much framework, too many opinions, too many voices, too much to process at one time. And so that's how we tie this into framework. Okay. So I want to go ahead and just keep it flowing today. I don't want to belabor many points. I don't want to waste time because we got to get our Saturday rocking and rolling. Okay, guys, if you're asking yourself, what are the beginning stages? If you find yourself stuck, before I get into my personal strategies, if you find yourself stuck, you want to start again, you feel stagnant, you feel stuck in the mud, the first thing that you got to understand, and this is based on research. Research shows less options, less details produce higher comprehension and decision making. Guys, that means the less you have to work with, the easier it is, right? I'm someone who has always wrestled with a mission statement. I've always wrestled with coming up with the mission statement of IAMTHEPOSSIBLE or any other businesses that I've started. What is my single mission statement? That has always been very elusive for me because this idea is you want to summarize everything that you do into this one single statement. And it's been a process, right? In my own personal life, I'm just being transparent. It's been a process for me to really narrow down what it is that I do to a single mission or a single intention, right? And I'm still working through that. I'm closer, but I'm still working through that. But here's the idea. If I came to you and said, this is the one thing I do, it's very easy for you to understand whether or not I'm of value to you. But if I came to you and said, I do 20 things, it will confuse you. What are you talking about? 20 different what? What is it that you do, man? Right? So it's the less is more. And less is more in this context as well. When you're looking to launch out on something, maybe you're already stuck and I can help you get through your current stuckation, right? But now going forward, you're going to want to use this. You're going to want to leverage this going forward. When you begin to launch a ministry, a business, the thing, you're going to be saying, hey, I want to get a few core fundamental ideas. Once I got 2, maybe 3 options or choices or approaches to that thing, I'm good. Just train yourself. I'm good. When you got about 2 or 3 different options, I'm good. That way your brain can begin to process that thing much quicker. And then you can begin to launch out and move faster and begin to not even get stuck. You can just avoid getting stuck at all by limiting your options and your choices. I pray that makes sense. Let me just make a pause for the calls. Let me say what up to some of these folks, man, that are jumping on. Velda, what's going on, sister? What's happening with you? So no flooding your brain with draining activities. Yeah, no, we don't want to do that. No, we don't want to do that. No more of that. No, no, no. You stop that. No more. No more. No more flooding. Right? Don't do that. Lawana says, help me. Is it, help. I'm stuck. Okay, well, sister, today's show is for you. We about to get you unstuck right now. Lawana says, true. The less information you have, the easier it is for me to launch. Absolutely. Earlier, Lawana says, what did you say? Ain't doing nothing when I get home. Right. Ain't doing nothing when you get home. All that doggone information you can gather. You know about them notes, all them doggone notes, because them notes was fire. Them notes was fire when you was taking them. You knew whatever you was about to do. You knew you was about to rule the world, man. They ain't even ready for me. That's what you're saying in your mind. Dude, they ain't even ready for me. Oh, I'm about to. They ain't even ready for me. And then when you get home with all them notes and all that excitement starts. You was on 10. By the time you get to the parking lot, you on like, well, no, actually parking lot and the drive home, you still on 10. You still on 10, baby. Right? If it's virtual, 20, 30 minutes afterwards, oh my God, you are like a rocket. They can't bring you down. They can't bring you down. Day 3, day 4, you had about an 8. Day 5, you probably about a 7, 6. Where did all that excitement go? Inundation of information. Got to keep wiping my glasses because these lights are hot and sweaty this morning. But I feel you and I get you. The Big Apple is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, yes. What's going on, Angeline? What's happening, my sister? Good morning to you as well, live from New York City. Oh, yes, that is one of the places that I have to, my wife and I, we have to journey, venture, visit, do it big in right there, the Big Apple, man. So thank you so much, Angeline, my sister from another mister. Thank you so much for rocking with me this morning, guys. All right, so let's jump back into this. Where do I leave off? Okay, so now that we understand what the studies show, I want to begin to just give you these strategies, guys. I want to just start giving you these strategies. Boom. All right, here we go. I've talked enough. I've explained enough. You guys get it. You guys get it. You're stuck, overload. Okay, you get it. Let's get to it. These are my 3 start again strategies. I know you see all 3, but walk with me, step with me, rock with me. One at a time, guys. All right, here we go. Number 1. We have to understand. Well, we don't have to understand. It's just an option. You know, you don't have to understand anything. I'm sharing it with you. I'm just sowing seed this morning, right? You can pick it up and make it grow in your life or not. But most don't matter. Most don't matter. What are you talking about? Most don't matter. Separating what's essential from what's exciting. Separating what's essential from what's exciting. Okay. The reason that that's important, guys, the reason that that's important is because when we take those notes, when we do that research, when we watch those videos, when we listen to those audio books, when we read the physical books, when we are in launch mode, what happens is that, let me put it right there. What happens is subconsciously we believe everything is amazing. Everything has to happen like now. Everything has to be incorporated like now. Back to my earlier example, when I was launching out on this podcast, when I first started Googling how to start a podcast, what do I need? How do I get it going? How do I get it popping? You know, Google got 2.3 million returns on my keywords. So you can imagine the flood of information that came my way. And I just started watching and looking and reading and watching and looking and reading. And so for every one thing, the microphone, which is the best, get the Blue Yeti, get the this one, get the that one. Well, if you want affordable, get this one, get that. Right. It's a million different options. Most of it don't really matter. Because guess what? In 2021, you can get a smartphone, ladies and gentlemen. This baby right here. Yeah, I'm timing my shows now. You doggone right, because I don't want to waste no time. But guys, get your phone, man. It is an app. You can download an app, speak into the bottom of that phone, hit upload. You are on Apple. It is just like that. Now, is it the highest quality? Maybe not. Is it the dopest sounds and all this other? Maybe the quality isn't top shelf. Maybe some of the other elements, maybe it's not the dopest, but you got started. And what I've learned is that you're going to learn more, you're going to accomplish more, and you're going to feel better about yourself by starting. Getting stuck psychologically messes with you. It does. It does something to you when you try to start and then stop. It's like a car. You try to crank that engine. It frustrates you. When your car can't start, it frustrates you. What's the disconnect? Why can't I start this car? Well, the same happens with us. When we can't start, it frustrates us. That's why I label this the floodgates and the frustration of frameworks. It's too much. And so, guys, most of it don't even matter. Most of it don't even matter. This is about getting started. This is about getting unstuck, perfecting your craft, perfecting your art, perfecting your work can and will happen over time. You don't have to do it immediately. It will happen over time. I'm preaching to myself. You have to just get started. So most don't matter. Separate what is essential. What do I actually need to get my podcast started? That was the first thing that I said to myself. What do I absolutely need to get started? Work with the basics, and then you can improve over time. Side note, by people watching you improve, that's a testimony. Some of the most inspiring things I've ever done in my life is look at the big name people that I look up to and that are like rocking and rolling in my industry. I go back to the archives. I go back to when they first started. I go back to when they didn't have everything, when their name wasn't a household name. I look back at them original YouTube videos, those original books. I read those first copies when they were little pups in the little pups in the business, right? Right. They weren't the big dogs, right? They were little puppies on a porch. I want to go back to that and see how you progress. That encourages me. That inspires me, because many times, side note alert, many times we are comparing our now to their 20 years. We're comparing our startup to their 50 years in the game. And we got to stop that. That is devastating. That is devastating to your psyche. It is deflating. Okay. So that whole comparison game, as a side note, guys, we got to quit comparing. They've been in this thing 20, 40, 50 years. You just getting started. Let your journey be an inspiration to someone else, and show your journey. Show your journey. I won't go that deep into it right now, but if you go to my YouTube channel, I Am the Possible, on YouTube, you can find a video that I recorded in the house around the corner from where we live now. I had an iPhone C and I had a tripod. And I recorded that video to show the world, listen, I'm not going to wait until I get the lights, cameras, bells, and whistles. I'm going to take an iPhone C in a hot, sweaty garage on a $20 Walmart tripod. I'm going to set that sucker up. I was sweating. You can see it in the video. I was sweating. I was hot. I recorded it at like 4 a.m. so that I wouldn't wake up the family. And I'm going in this hot, sweaty garage on an iPhone C, iPhone 5, a C, right? And a tripod, man. But my point was, I ain't waiting. I am the possible, right? I ain't waiting, man. My possible is now. And so I'm just sharing that with you again, guys. Don't compare yourself to other people's 20, 30-year journey, and you're just getting started. Record your journey, right? Document your journey. It will be an inspiration to someone else. Okay, here we go. Let's drop it. Let's drop it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get back over here. Bam. Number 2, guys. Number 2 strategy. Number 2 strategy, guys. Oh, let me go back to my first one, because you may be thinking, what is this separating what's essential from what's exciting? Essential means what are the bare minimum things that you need to get started so that you can launch and quit procrastinating. The exciting is everything's exciting in the beginning. Everything is the dopest, newest, freshest, and you want to get that going. So all I was saying there was, what do you actually need to get started? And what are all those dope bells and whistles that you can put on pause and implement later? Okay, just want to be clear. All right, cool. Let's jump into number 2. A framework fast, guys. Succeeding through your personal silence and space. Succeeding through your personal silence and space. All right, what do I mean by this? All right, guys, what do I mean by this? Just as again, personal story. A couple years ago, actually may have been less than 2 years ago, social media was kicking my butt. I had the wrong perspective. I had the wrong framework. I was really becoming dependent on it, right? And you get caught up like everyone else. How many likes, how many shares, how many views, how many this, how many that, right? And I was really caught up in the game, man. And I was preaching a message of not depending on that, but then falling into the same trap. I was a victim of it, just like so many others. I was really tripping on like, man, ain't nobody watching me, ain't nobody listening to me. I don't have that many clicks. I don't have that many comments. I put that out there and I felt real good about it, but now ain't nobody really feeling me. And I mean, I was just, it just wasn't healthy. That was me trying to gain, I don't know if it was approval or if it was acceptance. I don't know what it was. But it was a horrible time, right? I was dealing with other people's frameworks again, because if I put out a piece of content and it doesn't resonate with you, it doesn't mean that it ain't dope content. It just means that it didn't hit the right people. That's it. That means I got to get better at my marketing. I got to get better at getting my information to the right people, right? If I'm serving steak dinners and you're a fish eater, I can't hook you up. I can't serve you. All I got on my menu is steak. And you are like, I'm a vegetarian. I can't do nothing for you, man. I'm not going to change my menu. I just got to find meat eaters. I hope that makes sense. So anyway, I was all trapped up. I was all beat up. Right? And I felt like God was saying, listen, dude, you got to pull away, man. You got to get your head straight. Like, you are doing way too much right now, right? You being real extra with yourself. And so God inspired me with this idea right here. And let me show it again. It's called a framework fast. What I did was I'm going to tell you 100. I went online and I got a picture. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I got a picture of a monk, right? Google monks, because monks know how to pull away. Monks know how to go into some solitude and some serenity, and they know how to get peace of mind. So I looked up a picture of a monk. I saved it to my phone and I posted it on social media and I said, monk mode. I'll see you when I return. That was it. Shout out to my boy, Horace, call him HP. I remember having those conversations. And then like sometimes when I would like pull away from like social media for like a week or something like that, just to kind of chill, or, just a basic chilling. He would say, oh, is it a monk mode now? And I'm like, nah, it's not monk mode. I just need a week off, for whatever reasons. Right. But I said monk mode and I went on a 40-day fast, a 40-day framework fast, a 40-day social media fast. I pulled away. And that's one of the strategies that I can offer you guys, is that you can pull away for a set amount of time. You can pull away from whatever it is. Maybe social media got you feeling some type of way. Maybe the results in your business got you feeling some type of way. Maybe, the whole launching thing and you're stuck and you're inundated with all this information. And maybe you just need a fast from all that processing. Maybe it's a 24-hour fast. Maybe it's a 3-day fast, 7-day, 21 days is great. Or you can be like me, take a whole month and a half off, 40-day fast, baby. Right? Excuse me. And I took 40 days, man. And it was the most peaceful, most edifying, most serene time that I had, in recent years remembered. I mean, outside of when I took my year sabbatical from pastoring, dude, this 40-day framework fast worked like a charm. It gave me space. It gave me room, right, within my own silence and within my own space to really get back to grips with me, to really get back to what mattered, to really, clear my head, right, clear the clutter, right, and really regain a sense of confidence in my choices for my life. Because if you guys know anything about social media, we're looking at other people's lives, whether they're lying or telling the truth, right? Whether they fronting or they keeping it real, whether it's their natural face and look and skin, or if it's filtered, whatever they're doing, we're still looking at other people's life, other people's businesses, other people's content, other people's framework. So whatever it is, if you're gaining information from whoever, the gurus, the thought leaders, whoever we call them, whatever they are, we are looking at their framework and we're inundated with their framework. And you may need to just take a pause. You may just need to take a framework fast. So step back, decide on how many days you want to do, how many days you can do on just stepping back and clearing your head and really returning to what resonates for you. I call it returning and reviewing what resonates. If you're anything like me, God has put some things in your heart. God's put some things on your mind. And sometimes in the process of launching or doing something different with your life, and you're gathering other people's opinions and ideas and framework, sometimes you can lose a sense of yourself. And I've always said, guys, that if the cost for success, if the price for success is a sense of you, a sense of yourself, then you cannot afford that. Okay, let's say my bank account can't handle that. Right? You are delinquent, right? Your funds, you are insufficient funds. When it comes to giving up self for success, you're losing yourself to accomplish something outside of you. You're giving up your peace. You're giving up your integrity. You're giving up your character for a tangible goal, a tangible achievement. That's too much for you to pay. That's too much. And so in the framework fast, you step back and you return and review what resonates for me. Because at the end of the day, all them people that we're listening to, they're not in our homes. They don't really have our backs like that. They really can't do much for you when the ish hits the fan. They're not the ones in the hospital with you. They're not the ones praying with you. They're not the ones, right, being that shoulder to cry on, right? We have to pay for their time, right? So let's just get real with this thing, man. What matters for you? What matters for you, right? This is a journey that I've been on, man. What is my frame? What resonates for me, right? So return, review what resonates for you, right? Not for other people. You can't live their lives and they will not live yours, right? So really what matters is what's going on for you. Last one, guys. Last one. If I'm speaking real talk, let me know. Give me some hashtag real talk. Come, somebody give me some hashtag real talk, because I feel like I'm talking some real talk. I'm gonna say what up to some of folks that's jumping on this morning. My boy Evan says, I feel you, brother. I feel you too, my man. That's a good brother right there. That's a good brother right there. I appreciate you, man. I'm feeling your content. I'm feeling your energy. I'm feeling your vibe. You good people, man. We may need to hook up and connect on a different level, man, because I've been watching you. I see you flowing. I see you doing your thing, Ev. So thanks a lot, man, for joining. Thanks a lot for dropping that comment, brother. I really appreciate that. Velda says real talk. Yes. Angeline says real talk. Angeline says, I feel you, brother. I feel you too, sis. Yes. Angeline, see, Angeline's a roller. Angeline's a rocker. Right? She says, I don't care about other people's opinion anymore. I stopped that and my life has changed. Ooh, that's what I'm talking about, baby. You lose yourself and your self-worth. See, I said it, but she backed it up. See what I'm saying? That's real talk. Don't lose yourself. Don't lose yourself. LaWanda says, real talk. My doctor told me it's called decision fatigue. Wow. That I'm experiencing, a product of anxiety. Wow. See, I'm a nerd, man. I'm a nerd. Now that you can get that to me, sis, now I got to go look it up. I got to understand it. I got to incorporate it into my courses. Oh, that's dope. Decision fatigue. I can totally feel that. Because that's what it feels like. You're just tired. You're exhausted. You are fatigued. So that's thank you for sharing that. Wow. And shout out and salute to you, sis, for going to the doctors or going to the, like seeking help, like sharing it with somebody. That's what's up. That's real. Thank you for sharing that. My world has expanded because of that. Thank you. All right, guys. Last one. Last one. Train yourself to trust yourself. This is a big one. This is a big one. Learning to listen to your inner compass. I shared on inner compasses, I think it was either last week or the week before. But learning to listen to your inner compass, it knows how to, like a guide, how-to books, how-to guides. It knows how to guide and where to go. Guys, there is a voice within us. There is a voice within us that I call it the compass, right? People call it God, Holy Spirit, Jesus himself. Some people call it, the guiding light. Some people, and that's not just a soap opera. See, I'm telling my age, but anyway, some people call it intuition, right? Some people call it the higher self. Some people even talk about their ancestors or ancestors. I'm trying to say it right, but even those from the past, now coming in spirit form and guiding you, whatever you name it, whatever you frame it, dude. I choose to call it a compass because a compass has direction on it, right? You guys know I'm a person of faith, so ultimately, all glory be to God, right? All glory be to God. Yet I use like practical things to help me wrap my head around it and to help me to train it and teach it at the drop of a hat. So for me, I just named that inner voice the inner compass. Okay. Because it tells you, right, as you move it, it redirects you, right? My pastor talks about true north. You have to have some people in your life that will always point you true north. They'll always point you home. They'll always point you in the right direction. Well, there's a voice within us that works like a compass that always points us in the right direction. Training yourself to trust yourself is training yourself to listen to that inner voice. When we are inundated with information, when we have information overload, when we have decision, let me go back to that. Decision, let's see, what did she say? Decision fatigue. I'm going to put that into my vocabulary. When you have decision fatigue, you can sometimes either override, overlook, suppress that inner voice. So many voices, so much information, so much data, like a computer. You don't know how to process it. And it's so many voices and so much information that that little voice down inside saying, go this way. Hey, pick that. Hey, do that. Choose that. Implement that. Work on that. Right? Isn't that voice a gentleman, not forcing its way? It'll be there to guide and to lead. It'll be there to show up and just whisper, that's the way to go. That's what you should do. But that takes intention. And that's why I say train. That's why I say train. Because you guys know I love fitness. I just got home from the gym not too long ago. Guys, training takes intention. Training takes precision. Training takes practice. Guys, for us to continue to get unstuck and start again, some of it is listening to that inner voice when everyone else is saying something else, when everyone else has their opinions, when everyone else is telling you to do something different, when everybody and their mama got the answer for you. Sometimes the answer is already there. It's already present. It's already within you. But you have to give it space. You have to give it some intention. You have to allow it to speak. And so I want to encourage you in this third strategy to begin to train yourself to trust yourself. That's as simple as whether it's prayer, meditation, steeling yourself, quieting yourself. It's a little different from the framework fast in that the framework fast is just a pulling away from, right? You just get away from other people's framework, but you still may be processing your own, right? Because you're still reviewing and returning to what resonates. So you're still thinking through some stuff. The difference is when you train to trust yourself, this is a letting go. This is a letting go process. This is a shedding of thought process. This is a letting go of all those great notes that you took. This is a letting go of all of your frameworks that you've gathered over time. This is the letting go of everyone's how-to manual and the best steps and the 3 steps to this and 3 steps to that, right? You're letting go, right? You may even need to let go of my 3 strategies, right? Just letting go. And allowing that inner thing, that inner voice, that inner person, the inner spirit, however you name it and frame it, letting that speak to you, letting that have some space, right? Letting that speak to you, letting that come in, and letting that voice, even though it is small and it is soft, letting it have command. Sometimes, you know how they say that, and one of the sayings that I really don't like all that much, you know, the squeaky wheel gets the, what is it? The squeaky wheel gets the oil, or the squeaky wheel gets the, if you guys remember that old saying, guys, just drop that in the comments for me. The squeaky wheel gets the blank, whatever it is, right? Gets the oil or gets the care. But basically, you know, we live in a very loud society, and many times the loudest one gets the attention. The one that's woofing, the one that's screaming and yelling, they get the love, they get the attention, they get access. Well, this is a very intentional process of saying, yep, I acknowledge all the loudness. Cease. Shut up. I got something that I'm working on that's so important that you all need to pause. And I need to look within. And I need to allow what's truest to me and what's truest within me to emerge, to have voice, to have space, to have room, right? My man, Jonathan McReynolds, one of my favorite gospel artists, he has a song called Make Room. I think the whole album is called Make Room. Shout out and salute to my man, Jonathan McReynolds. Man, I got to see that brother in concert once the world gets back to what we call normal. He's from the Chi as well. But he says, make room, make room, make room, right? And the song is, you know, I listen, I don't sing, but he's basically saying, make room for you. He's praying and talking to God. I'm gonna make room. I'm gonna make room for you, right? And I was telling my wife the other day, I said, man, it is high time that we began to make room for whom made room for us. Oh yeah, man. It is high time that we start making room, intentional room for who made room for us. Didn't God make room for us? Didn't he? Let us create man in our likeness and our image. Didn't he make room for us? Aren't you alive? Aren't you watching me live or on the replay? He made room for you. He made room for you. He gave you gifts and treasures. He gave you talents. He put you in this world. He hooked you up. He's watching over you now. He's providing for you, right? The sun came up, didn't it? That's providing for you. Sometimes we don't acknowledge it, right? But all this unseen stuff, the stuff that we just walk over and look over and don't even acknowledge, God is always working on your behalf. He made room for you. I think it's high time that we make room for him. And he's the one that's on that inside, if I'm gonna just be 100. But I call it the compass. But he knows, man, right? I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. I know plans to prosper you, hope, a future. He knows what he wants for you. He knows how he created and designed you, handcrafted you. So it is high time for us to make room for the one that made room for us. You can hashtag that one. You can post that one on your timeline. Make room for the one that made room for you. Quit dissing God. Quit acting like he ain't like he ain't the it, like he ain't dope, like he ain't the champion, like he ain't the one. Because we listening to all these gurus, thought leaders, experts, yada yada yadas. Dude, ain't nobody trumping God. You knew at some point today I was gonna get off on it. You knew it, because my whole intention is to give him glory. My whole intention is to be used as a communication channel, right? By him, an instrument in the hands of God, right? So you knew I was going to get to that point, right? But that's it, man. I ain't going to go any further, guys. But learn to trust, man. Learn to trust. Train yourself to trust yourself, guys. It's amazing to learn to listen to that inner compass. I got a few more slides. But before I go to my last couple of slides, let me say what up and read some of these last comments. My boy Ev said, real talk, brother. Yes, yes. Thank you, my man. Ev says, trusting Trusting self is absolutely the real deal. Yes. Give yourself permission to be right. Give yourself permission to be right. Oh, that's another one. That sounds like a nice title for episode. Give yourself permission to be right. Stop being so wrong. Stop being so wrong. Stop second guessing yourself. Go and give yourself some permission to be right. Yes. 𝗦𝗧𝗥𝗧 says, I had to unfollow a bunch of thought leaders and gurus. We need to stop this freaking titles. I want to punch somebody. Stop this crap. You ain't. Anyway, man, doggone gurus, and we elevating folks like they higher than, man, please. You just know a little something about what you know. I know a little something about what I know. Stop it. Stop that. Stop these titles. Stop that. Stop it. But anyway, okay, back to what she's saying. she had to unfollow a bunch of thought leaders and gurus because instead of inspiring me, it felt like pressure to perform and judgment. Yep. I can't flow like that. That's what's up. That's what's up, sis. You took the words right out of my mouth. I can't flow like that. I can't. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous what we're going through right now. Because everybody Hollywooding it, man. They Hollywooding it, man. Humble yourself. Shout out to all of my thought leaders, gurus, experts, and industry leaders. Listen, dude, you may not consider me nothing or nobody. I'm on my come up. You may not even whatever. But if you watch and you come across this content, you see this piece of section right here, humble yourself, man. Humble yourself. Humble yourself before God does. Humble yourself before God does. It won't be long. Stop exalting yourself. You bring yourself low in the eyes of other people, man. They'll love you. They'll appreciate you. They'll accept you the same. And then God will elevate you. He'll elevate you in due time. But quit acting like you the one, man. We ain't the one. He's the one. All we are sowers of seed, man. The Bible said one will sow, one will water. He makes it grow. We ain't making nothing happen. All we doing, man, is sowing seed, and God is making it to grow. So stop that. Stop that. All right, here we go. Velda says the squeaky wheel gets the grease. There you go. Bam. I knew it. Yes, that's the one. The squeaky wheel gets the grease. Yep. The one that's so loud. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Velda, for that. Appreciate you. Angeline says, trust the process. Yes, it is a process. Trust it. It works. Trust yourself, Angeline says. Absolutely. It's going to get you there. It's going to get you there. Margaret Washington, my sister, she says, thank you for your service. Praise God. Hey, thank you for joining. Thank you for rocking with me this morning. I appreciate your presence. Your presence is the greatest present. I mean that with all sincerity, because time you don't get back. You can't recoup it. You can't, remake it. You can't replicate it. Time, once it's gone, it's gone. And it is always an investment. No one wastes time. No time is ever wasted. It is only invested. And whatever you invest in, you're going to get a return on. So if you're listening to me for this last 40 minutes, 50 minutes or so, you're making an investment into this here, right? And so I want to show up and best serve you. I want to show up and give you the best that I can give you, because I understand that if you actually listen to me, even if you don't, head out to do everything I say, if you just listen to my voice, I'm getting in there, right? My opinions, my framework, my information is getting in, right? So thank you so much. I really do appreciate your presence. Definitely great information. Keep it real. Thank you. I appreciate that. I absolutely will. All right, guys, I got a few more things that I want to share with you guys really quick. Let me go ahead and share the main screen and my last slide or so. Let's see here. Oh, yes, this is it right here. Success. Oh, yeah, this is it. Success without satisfaction is the worst form of stagnation. That's it. Because getting stuck, inundation of information overload, getting stuck, it's a form of stagnation. But if you were to succeed and not be satisfied, that's the worst form. And that's why this is what inspired me to, really do today's broadcast, is because I feel like there are people out there who will succeed and who are trying to succeed, but they're listening to the frameworks of others. They're inundated with the framework of others. And ultimately, once they do launch out and once they do become successful, It will be a success that will be void of themselves. It will be a success without self. And a success without self is a success that is unsatisfying. It doesn't satisfy. You have to have a piece of you. It has to be a piece of you, your thumbprint, your imprint. It has to be you. It has to be authentic, right? So guys, in all of our succeeding, in all of our starting again, in all of our pressing forward, please remember that in all of your succeeding in life, if it doesn't satisfy, you're actually stagnant. Where have you actually gone? If it's not soaked in you, if it's not true and authentic to you, if it doesn't satisfy your soul, right? You hear the stories, man, of suicides. You hear the stories of overdoses. You hear the story of depression, of wealthy men and women, successful men and women, CEOs of companies, right? Vice presidents of companies, right? Who have all of this glitz and glam and drive the best and live in the best and have the best and eat the best and drink the best and wear the best. But within, they're completely empty. They're not satisfied, guys. So if there's any success to be had, let the success be your own satisfaction. If there's any success to be had, let the success be your own satisfaction, because that's true progress. That's true, plowing forward, right? Let me check here. I don't think I have any other slides, but let me just make sure. Yep, end. Perfect. So let me go ahead and stop sharing here. Let me get back to my screen. That's it, guys. That's it. I want to end. I didn't put it on my slides, but I want to end with this. I got 4 minutes. I want to end with this. Angeline says, "Preach, brother." You know it. You know I'm gonna do that. That's what I is. That's what it is. Preacher man. Absolutely. I want to end with this. I didn't write it down. Let me see if I got it on my phone real quick. Indulge me for a moment. Just give me a moment. Last thought. I want to end with this thought. It's a quote from Bruce Lee. I don't know if you guys get down with the Karate Man, if you guys remember Bruce Lee or watched any of his movies or know much about his martial art background, but universally known as and universally respected as probably the world's greatest martial arts artist. But Bruce Lee was, as much as he was a martial artist, as much as he fought, all right, as much as he got down with the karate game, as much as he did that, Bruce also was a great philosopher. I mean, if you just Google Bruce Lee quotes and really contemplate and really meditate on what that brother was sharing, he is a world-class philosopher, deep thought, deep thinker. And one of the ones that tie into today's broadcast that I really wanted to share with you guys before we got out of here, Bruce Lee said it this way: "It is not daily increase, but daily decrease. It is not daily increase, but daily decrease. Hack away at the unessential. The closer to the source, the less wastage there is." I'll say that one more time. It is not daily increase, but daily decrease. Hack away at the unessential. The closer to the source, the less wastage there is. I really found that to be inspiring and very informative. Guys, inundation of information overload, just getting overwhelmed by so many options and so many choices is not in how much more information we can get. It's really about hacking away. For many of us, we've got more than enough information to get started. You have more than enough information to, as we say, take over the world. You have enough information to launch your business, your ministry. You have more than enough information. It's about hacking away at the unessential, right? Just like the first one that I shared. It's about getting rid of the exciting and just working with what's essential just to get started. You'll always level up. In fact, give yourself room to level up. Launch out with the essentials of your ministry, your business, your relationship. It could be a hobby, whatever it is that you find yourself stuck in. I want to encourage you to begin with the essentials, launch out, and then give yourself with intention, give yourself room to then level up. You may say, hey, I'm gonna start off with this mic. This mic cost me, I don't know, like maybe 89 bucks. Oh no, actually it was like 100 and something because it came with some other little stuff. So let's say I get this mic and it gets me through, but then I can look and say, man, in a year, I'm gonna take profits from the business and I'm gonna go get that $600 mic that's gonna be even more clear. Just as an example, start where you are, make room to increase and level up, right? And just start again, guys. Just start again. That is my message. That is my word. I'm gonna stick by it. Let me say these final shout outs and salutes. Lawana says, really insightful today. Thank you so much. Thank you. I've been preparing. I'm working on my craft, and we working on them courses, and this is my practice. This is my work here. This is me getting better and better at my craft. And so I'm glad to hear that's helpful feedback. That's helpful feedback. In fact, if you guys are live or on the replay, if you guys have feedback on maybe you see some progress in me, hey, I would love the encouragement. Encourage me. Let me know, hey, brother, I saw you over here and now you're over here and looks like you're doing some good. Let me know, encourage me, pump me up as much as I'm giving out. Hey, somebody give me some too, right? Also your feedback and saying, hey man, maybe you need to do this. Maybe you need to do that. I won't get inundated. Okay. I won't get inundated, right? Trust me. I'm going to apply these strategies and I won't get inundated. But I would love feedback. I want to improve. I want to get better. I want to get better in my service and my, capacity to serve. So let me know, guys. I thank you for that. I want to be insightful. I want you to walk away and take away some good information, right? I want to do that. And so I've been working on my craft, man, just hacking away at the unessentials, working on my craft. And so thank you so much for that inspiration. I really appreciate that. Bruce, is it right? Be water. See, you know about that. Yeah, that be water. Exactly. Flow in and flow out. Absolutely. Yes. Velda says, thank you, brother. God is all. Yes. Yes, he is. Yes, he's everything. Praise God. Praise God. Yes. Sister Washington says, nice, loving it. Thank you. I thank you. I receive that and I appreciate that. P.I., what's going on with you, my man? What's happening with you, brother? So good to see you this morning, man. Happy Saturday to you, my man. P.I. is in the building. Another great brother in this world doing great things. Poetry on another level. Poetry on another level. Excellent. If you like poetry, if you're into poetry, if you're into spoken word, P.I. is your man. Deep thinker, another philosopher, brilliant mind. God's hand is on his life. So thank you so much, brother. I see massive progress. Thank you. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. That means a lot coming from you because I know you are also on your grind as well, man. So thank you so much. All right, guys, that's it. That's it. I am about to get on up out of here and get my Saturday. Well, I've already gotten started. So I guess getting to the next chapter. So guys, until next time, have an amazing Saturday. I love you. I'm praying for you. I'm believing in you. Remember, above all else, guys, you, yes, you right there, you are what's possible. Peace.